Okay, so here's a little video on how to take down the new giant thoriums with these snot-spitting wankers in them. First thing I do is I make sure that Ruby is off. You can turn Ruby on and off hitting the letter R on your keyboard so you don't have to click it. It's kind of a useful thing. I'm real big on keyboard commands, so I'm going to emphasize those throughout the video. First thing I do is I introduce my air. And the reason I put that in first is you really can't control where it comes from. It kind of depends on where the depot is. I always assign my units different numbers. So for my air, I'm going to hit Shift 3. This way, if I want to deselect it, I hit the space. If I want to reselect it, I hit the button 3. Whenever I introduce a unit, I always deselect it. I found that otherwise what happens is it gets added to whatever you have. So I'm going to put in my Hellfires, Shift 1 to assign them to 1. They tend to show up mixed up enough where you get a fairly separated volley of missiles from them, so you don't have to do any real adjustment with the first corner. So I'm going to let them go, and I've just got them assigned to 1. Space to deselect, get my hover in there, Shift 2. And what I'm looking for is for this hovercraft to get interested in the missiles from the Hellfire. And now I've got my Hellstorms going in. I'm going to release 2 volleys on this ion tower. So there's 1, there's 2, and I get my air out of there. You leave your air in too long and it gets destroyed. This hover will aggro sometimes. Usually he loses interest. The interesting thing to watch is this zombie. What'll happen is as soon as the Hellfires turn away, the zombie's going to start going after the Hellfires. Watch this. I'm going to turn the Hellfires. And it made a liar. Oh, no, here he comes. And all you have to do is get 2 volleys off for the zombie. As soon as the second volley goes, you can start running away, because he aims for the first. The second one's, already going to get close enough. Reposition to the south side. Get your air down there, and then I'm going to bring in the 4th part of my unit here, which is just a bunch of little infantrymen. Assign them to 4. These zombies that come out tend to lose interest right around here. So I just keep my hover going. And you kind of want to get these guys spaced out a little bit. What you're looking for is to be parallel to a vertical line from this corner, roughly. It's important that your Hellfires get spread out in this corner. Because if you don't have a constant stream of missiles, what happens is when you go in with your Hellstorms, the towers will aggro on your air. So here we go. We got our Hellfires all ready to go. We're going to go to a little stream. We're looking for this hover to get interested in the missiles. And then it's going to be 2 volleys at this ion tower. I use shock on my Hellstorms. There's 1 volley. And here's why. There's the 2nd volley. And I'm going to get them out of there, because it tends to shock the units, which is good, and it makes the rest of the missiles more effective. Now I'm done with the air, believe it or not. Do not use air on any part of this rest of this base unless you like coining. Lead with the hover. The hover will take care of this guy, no problem. And now for this little section, doesn't really matter. Things don't have to be split out very, very far. See how easy it is when you have the keystrokes down? You can quickly reassign what commands you're given to what. The hover, this is not a no damage scenario, but it's a super low damage scenario. It's going to be maybe 6 minutes of total damage. 1 volley per snot spitting wanker is enough. Now here's something that's not terribly obvious. It's coming up. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in with about 3 Hellfires. And I'm aiming at this tower. All I really want to do here is kill this Glad and his Jewish sheriff friend. But I don't want to do a lot of damage to it, because what I really want, I want to leave this flak tower pretty well preserved. This ought to be plenty. It's got enough oomph at this point. Once those units are dead, I really want to stop this, because if this flak tower is not terribly damaged, then I'm then I have a real good chance of getting this plasma tower. So next thing, I got to get my infantry in. Probably not going to be enough time, just because of the time I was taking to explain stuff. Take out these. There's 2 mines here I want to get rid of. By the way, when these guys start approaching you, it's best to let them come, and do not approach them with your Hellstorms. They'll take a lot of AoE damage. Alright, I get enough where I can get rid of the mines, maybe not even the second one. Usually I can do this, I'm well past this when I'm not having to explain things on one round. So we'll go on round 2. And I come in from the west side on this one. The dog and the platoon, this guy is not really necessary. It's for the Kane 45s. So I got 7 left. I start with 8 infantrymen. It's important, by the way, to run them around. Otherwise they get fat and lazy, and they're just not very effective fighting units if you let them drive around in vehicles all the time. Anyway, I got one of the mines, so I'm going after the second mine. Don't go closer than this, because otherwise this shock turret will aggro on you. And as these Hellfires are approaching this flak tower, watch this Valkyrie. If it aggroes, just hit end attack and leave. It typically doesn't. What you're looking for here, and this is part of why I didn't do too much damage here, is I really want to get a nice long volley against this flak tower, because what I want to get is a lot of splash damage on it for the plasma tower, and hopefully take it out with these remaining. Yeah, good, we got it. If you don't, the walls seem to work pretty well. Here comes the sheriff, coming to enforce the law. Do not get too close to these ion towers, or your hover will be unhappy. So it's fine, let the sheriff come at you. We're going to leave the infantry hanging around here. We can have them run some laps, I guess. And we're going to go after this wall segment here. Right about parallel with this, because what we want to do is we want to get this snot-spitting wanker and get a little damage on this. Probably won't get the hovercraft from this, which is fine. Keep these guys running. But we're getting a little damage off of this, so I just consider it free damage. It's really pretty boring around this corner too, because really now we're not going to use any air. If you use air up in the north part of the base, I really strongly recommend against it. Unless your idea of fun is taking real money and converting it into fake gold so you can buy repairs for your fake units, so you can get your fake thorium. If that's your idea of fun, yeah, bring your air up north. Otherwise, just do this, because this works really well. This is going to take out this tower, which is great. Do not approach these Valkyries and Wraiths with your hover when this ion tower is around. It's just too close. But the good news is now that we can work on this anti-air ion tower. Which, the real reason we're going after it like this is because we want the watchtower behind it. Alrighty. And now there's so few units that you don't really have to spread stuff out anymore. Oh, these guys are getting lazy. I'm just leaving my hover back because I've really never had anything aggro and run out at me. As you can see, this is a pretty boring way to do it, but it's really predictable, and it doesn't take that long. Now, sometimes the cryo is going to hit these little, cause these little snowflakes above your hellfires. There's really nothing to worry about. Really, all that happens is it just winds up increasing the viscosity of the magnetohydrodynamic fluids in the drive system, and that winds up reducing the laminar flow, specifically of the gear reduction subsystem. And it's only a temporary effect. It's really nothing to worry about. You can see that the hellfires really have taken no damage at all. Once this volley's going, look, these lazy little infantrymen. I'm going to make them run some more. Once this volley's going, you can go back to your hover. And really all you got to do is hit F. And the hover's going to go in and just mop up the rest of these little guys. There are some zombies who are hidden back here he's going to get. And there's just nothing to do. You just hit F and just watch the death. He's going to get these zombies, and then when this wraith goes down, profit. Well, I guess when you do it manually, it's just going to clean up the rest. That's fine. There we go. So we'll take a look at the depot. And we'll take a look at my unit, platoons, and you can see there's no damage to the Hellfire. And this is probably about 7 minutes on the hover tank. This is instant because you can take them out and put them right back in. So I'm going to pause it. We'll take a look and see. I'm going to send these guys home, and I'll pause it. We'll pick up in my base. Okay, back home, and 9 minutes 55 seconds on it. If I take out these two infantrymen, 9 minutes 11 seconds. So it's going to take me 4 minutes to get those repaired. So you want to move on to another one. I would steal a hover from here and just swap it out. And so it's going to take you more than 4 minutes to capture the next thorium depot, and so this will be fully repaired by the time you're done. Alright, well, thanks for watching.